Vanakkam, Namaste, Namaskaram, Sairam, Jai Shri Ram, Swamiye Saramayappa, Om Shakti, Parashakti. Welcome to Atonville TV, everybody. And you're currently streaming live with us on Atonville TV, if you haven't noticed. All right. So good evening, everybody. For those of you who just joined us and are watching this for the very first time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. You're currently watching The Journey, and this is the show about exploring Hinduism as a whole. I'm your host, Kimera, Heeralal, and if you'd like to interact with us in studio today, you can do so with the contact details which you'll find at the bottom right of your screen, or you can use the bottom column where it says live chat. Now remember, this is still the continuation of the part 2 episode of the Kali Amma discussion, and as it is the mother's time, Mahakali's time, that is why we decided to do her for the show. Now there is an episode which is part 1, and now this is part 2. Now, for those of you who are asking me what happened to yesterday's stream, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that content will not show. Unfortunately, we didn't know that one of the songs were copywritten, and YouTube actually pulled on the link. But hey, fear not, we've got part 2 happening right now, right here. We're just going to do a quick recap. So if you did miss the show yesterday, you didn't miss it much at all. We're going to do a quick recap and carry on with the show about Mahakali, Mother Kali, Kali Amma, whatever you may refer to her as. Today I'm calling her Kali Amma. I hope you guys don't mind. All right, so you're going to stay tuned for a full 1-hour show. And as we talk about Hinduism, you know, in everything we do, in every prayer or ritual that we do, we have to open up every single show, or every single prayer rather, with Lord Ganesha himself. Let's open up the show this evening with a gentleman named Siyanda Mashaba, as well as Baby Nishara, all the way. These guys are from Durban, by the way. Now they are doing Nada Gananada for us this evening. Check them out. That was Sianda Shlava and Baby Nishara all the way in Durban performing for you Nada Gana Nada as we open up the show this evening. If you just tuned in, you are currently watching Attenborough TV and you're streaming live with us right here in Lenasia South, guys. So yeah, I know what you're thinking. Attenborough? Lenasia South? Yeah, we relocated. I moved back home, but hey, wherever we might be, we're still going to stream the show live. If you want to interact with us in studio today, please do so with the contact details which you'll find at the bottom right of your screen, or you could use the bottom column where it says live chat. Now, getting back to speaking about Mother Kali, Maha Kali rather, or Kali Amma as I call her. Well, yeah, that's my personal name for her. I like to say Kali Amma. I like to say Amma. It makes me feel better and at peace inside when I call upon her. Now, talking about the origins of Kali Amma, we're going to do a quick recap of part 1 and part 2 of the Kali Amma show. Now, we spoke about Kali Amma and how she is also referred to as Maha Kali, which we've just mentioned, Bhadra Kali, and Kalika. We did mention this in the first 2 shows. Now, just remember, the mother goddess Kali Amma, if you put her up on the screen, she's the goddess of war, anger, time, change, creation, destruction, and power. Now, lots of you get like very disturbed, or it's not very easy to look at Mahakali because she looks quite scary and fierce. Now, if you don't understand the story behind why she looks this way, we did introduce this and explain it in the first show, the part 1 Kali Amma show. But if you missed the show, we described everything to you. We also said Kali's earliest appearance is when she emerged from Durga Ma, or you can even say a Parvati. Now, she is regarded as the ultimate manifestation of the Shakti and the primordial cosmic energy and the mother of all living beings. We also mentioned that Kali is a feminine form of Kala and an epithet of Lord Shiva himself. We also mentioned that she is the consort of Shiva, all right? And there's also a lot of explanations, and we spoke about the origins, where although the word Kali appears as early as the Atharva Veda, the first use of it is a proper name in the Kataka Griya Sutra. According to David Kinsley, who's helped me with my information for the show today, he says that Kali is the first mentioned in Hindu tradition as the distinct goddess around 600 AD. Now, these texts usually place her on the periphery of Hindu society or on the battlefield. So she's often regarded as the Shakti of Shiva, and closely associated with him in various Puranas. Now, legends have it that her most well-known appearance, which all of you know, is on the battlefield in the 6th century Devi Mahatmyam. Now, the deity of the first chapter of Devi Mahatmyam is Mahakali, who appears from the body of the sleeping Vishnu as goddess Yuga Nidra to wake him up in order to protect Brahma and the world from 2 asuras. Madhukatabi, or should I rather say Madhukataba, when it was actually, should I say, this was when Vishnu woke up, right? So when Vishnu woke up, he started a war against the 2 asuras. Now, after a long battle with Lord Vishnu, when the 2 demons were undefeated, Mahakali took the form of Mahamaya to enchant the 2 asuras. And when Madhu and Kataba were enchanted by Mahakali, Vishnu killed them. So then later in the chapters we have mentioned this, as this is the summary of the first 2 shows. The story of the 2 asuras were destroyed by Kali and can be found. So wherever you see the 2 asuras and you're just seeing destruction, you're seeing Kali will be found there. Now, Chanda and Manda attacked the goddess Durga. Durga responds with such anger, it causes her face to turn dark. Now, a gentleman asked me today, while I was out for lunch, a gentleman asked me, why is Durga Ma dark or blue in color? Now, here it actually it explains to you that Durga was in so much of anger, and Kali's appearance is dark blue and gaunt with sunken eyes and wearing a tiger skin sari. Now, if you look at it, it's mostly coming from her anger, right? She's angry, she's ready to destruct, so she will change into this color. Remember, she's the one female a Devi, or should I say Sami, that can walk in the different realms of the dark realms. And she had to fit the part and look the part in order to go through all of this. Now, if you look at Kali's appearance now, we were talking about the dark blue gaunt, sunken eyes as well, and wearing the tiger skin sari and the garland of human heads, as you can see at the top of your screen. And she immediately defeats these two asuras, as we were talking about the story with Vishnu, right? And later in the battle, the asura Raktabija is undefeated because of his ability to reproduce himself from every drop of his blood, which we all know the story, right? And every time the blood drops to the ground, he just reappears. Now, countless Raktabija clones appear on the battlefield every time this happens. Now, Kali eventually defeats him, and by sucking his blood before it can even reach the ground. As you can see, there's a head in a hand in the picture right next to me. And she defeats him by sucking his blood before it can touch the ground and eating the numerous clones, basically. That's what she's doing. So Kingsley, the gentleman that shared this with me, I'm calling him by his surname, Kingsley actually writes that Kali represents Durga's personified wrath, her embodied fury. So now you know why she is the color she is and why she looks the way that she does. Quite fierce, eh? But there's other origin stories that we did mention in the other shows. I hope you guys did enjoy. But if you missed it, please do track back and watch the show again. Let's talk about another origin, right? So now there's other origin stories that involve Parvati and Shiva. And I also mentioned that Parvati is typically portrayed as a benign and a friendly goddess. She's very friendly. And she's the mother, don't forget that. The Linga Purana describes that Shiva's asking Parvati to defeat the Asura Daruka. Now, when Parvati, who received that boon, and that would only allow. Okay, so basically we're talking about the demon here now, right? So now, in the Linga Purana, going back to it, where I told you that Shiva is asking Parvati to defeat Asura. Asura Daruka, that's the name of the demon, right? So where Parvati is being asked to defeat this demon, he actually received a boon, okay? And this boon would only allow a female to actually kill him. So that is why none of the male Samis or deities, or should I say, I refer to the gods as Samis, right? So a female could only kill him. So Parvati merges with Shiva's body, all right, reappearing as Kali to defeat Daruka and his armies. This is another story. So basically, so when they come as one, okay, her bloodlust gets out of control, only calming when Shiva actually intervenes. And the Vamana Purana has a different version now of Kali's relationship with Parvati, where Shiva addresses Parvati as Kali, the dark blue one. Now, she is greatly offended, but Parvati performs austerities to lose her dark complexion and becomes Gauri, and Gauri means the golden one. So, if you look at it, her dark sheet becomes Kasuki, or also, if you want to pronounce it, it's Kasiki. All right? So, Kasiki is her other name as well. For those of you who refer to her as just Mother Kali, it's actually quite enchanting and interesting when you listen to different names. Some people say there's only 108 names. Then you come to find out, when you go in depth about the mother, you realize that this religion, this spirituality was around for many years ago, thousands and thousands of years ago. I mean, look, this gentleman has shared with me that this was in 600 AD, and how long ago was that? Do you know that? I know we're in 2023, the year 2023, guys, but this is beyond that. So we're talking about Mother Kali this evening, and I'd like you to interact with us in studio today. If you grew up with different stories, different origins that I have not mentioned, please can you kindly interact with us in studio today as we are talking about Maha Kali. We'll come back straight after this commercial break. Welcome back. Vanakkam, Namaste, Namaskaram, Sai Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Swami Saranam Om Shakti, Para Shakti. Welcome back, everybody. If you're just joining us, you are currently watching Attenville TV. This is the Journey Show. It's about exploring Hinduism as a whole. If you want to interact with us in studio today, please do so with the contact details, which you'll find at the bottom right of your screen, or you could use the bottom column where it says live chat. Well, a very good evening to Darshni Manikam coming in on YouTube this evening, and she's giving me the prayer hand saying, Manikam, good evening, darling. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the director just informed me that you cannot see any visuals, but you can still hear my vocal. Just give my production a bit of time. Shiv, I think they're having production problems. Welcome back. All right, so welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that. A big shout out to Darshni Manikam this evening. Thank you so much for joining the show. And well, as we were talking about Mother Kali or Mahakali Part 2 episode, we are talking about the origins of Mother Kali or Kali Amma, I'd like to say. Now, getting back into it, just jumping straight into it after I've mentioned what happened or what was the story in the Vamana Purana. And we did mention what was happening, all right? So we did mention the stories and the beliefs and the different origins and where they come from. Now, going back to Kali's appearance, all right? We're going to talk about Kali's appearance in the verse of the Mahabharata. Let's talk about the Mahabharata. Now, Kali's appearance in the verse of the Mahabharata is called the Kalaratri, and also she's basically called Kalaratri, which means literally now, guys, the dark blue night, and appears to the Pandava. Now, everybody is wondering what's the Pandava. Pandava is actually the soldiers, right? So the Pandava soldiers in dreams, basically, when you can say when Kali appears in the midst of fighting during any attack, they are attacked by Drona's son Ashwatthama, which we did mention in the last episode. Now, in Kali's most famous legend, Durga and her assistants, the Matrikas that womb the demon Raktabija, which we just spoke about, and there are different versions, different demons, different things, different happenings. We do apologize for the visuals disappearing during the show. Shame, man. We had a bit of technical difficulties in the studio today, but please forgive us as, well, these things happen. All right, so we spoke about the different origins, the different books that we've learned from. There's also the Devi Mahatyam that actually describes out of the service of Durga's forehead. There's a story about how Mother Kali comes out of Durga's forehead. There are many different stories. I'm not saying that they're not true. I'm saying these events and these stories, yes, have happened, but there are different times as to how it happened. Interact with us in studio today as you can do so at the bottom. In the bottom column it says live chat there. Comment. If you do not see a column that says live chat, ladies and gentlemen, that means you need to subscribe to our channel. All right, so moving on from the different origins, the different Kali Ammas, it's a beautiful story. There's different origins to it. Now, if you look at this goddess Kali Amma, I need the director to put the picture back onto the screen so you can see who I'm talking about. Okay, so the goddess has two depictions, okay? And the popular four-armed, basically the popular form is the four-armed form, and you also get the 10-armed Mahakali avatar. There are different ones, okay? So let's move on to the popular form, which I did stop at yesterday. Now, unfortunately, yesterday's show could not be saved as we were pulled down by YouTube, so we're going to do this, start from here fresh. Now, there's a popular form of Mother Kali, Kali Amma, okay? There's a Tamil depiction of Kali. There's different types of depictions of Kali. Now, the classic depictions of Kali are as follows, right? Now, Kali's most common four-armed iconographic image shows that her hand is carrying variously a gadga, meaning a crescent-shaped sword or like a giant sickle. You can see the sword in her hand, right? Have a look. All right, so that is what she uses. She also has a trishul, which is a trident. Okay, you guys watch The Little Mermaid, you'll know it's a trident, right? Cool. All right, so she also has a savored head, the demon's head. You can see it in the picture. And a bowl or skull cup, meaning a kapala, as you can see under the head. Yeah. And this is the form of Bhima Kali. You can see her, right? Now, two of these hands are usually the left, right? When you see pictures, it's usually the left, not all of the time, but anyway, two of these hands, usually the left, are holding a sword and a severed head. The sword actually signifies divine knowledge, and the human head signifies human ego. So this, which basically means, or which must be the slain by divine knowledge in order to attain your moksha. Let's repeat that again. So the sword signifies divine knowledge, and the human head signifies human ego, which must be slain by divine knowledge in order to attain moksha. The other two hands, usually the right, are the abhaya, meaning fearlessness, yes, and the varada, meaning blessing, like mudras, which means her initiated devotees, or anyone worshipping her with a true heart, by the way, will be saved as she will guide them here and in the hereafter. This is the form of Dakshina Kali. Now she wears a garland of human heads as well, various enumerated at 108, an auspicious number, okay? An auspicious number. As we're talking about the 108, I got Shashik Hussain standing by, but let's talk about this before we cut to London. Okay, so basically Mother Kali, as you can see, her garland, right, is human heads and variously enumerated to 108. Notice most of the things in Hinduism come to 108 or 1008. Now that's an auspicious number in Hinduism, and the number of countable beads on a japa mala. Now some of us call it a rosary, okay, and well, let's say rosary for the repetition of the mantras. Basically, you need because you need to do this with your eyes closed. Now some mantra beads have 51, for those of you who don't know, and this actually represents the Varnamala, or the garland of letters of the Sanskrit alphabet, and this is also known as the Devanagara, also Devanagari. All right, so Hindus believe Sanskrit is a language of Dainism, and each of these letters represent a form of energy or a form of Kali. Therefore, she is generally seen as the mother of language and all mantras. Let's pop over all the way in London to Shashik Hussain. She's standing by with the Gayatri mantra. Now, before we get to the mantra, okay, I want to join about the mantras, but I just want to ask you guys if you can just interact with me and let me know if you know much about the mantras, the beads, or if you chant, if you are a Kali Amma devotee. Talk to us. I've got Saloshni Naika coming in on YouTube saying good evening. Good evening, Saloshna. Thank you for joining the show. It's been a long time. Nice to see you. Thank you so much. All right. So if you want to interact with us in studio today, don't forget there's a live chat column and there's your contact details at the bottom right of your screen. Okay, so now Shashik Hussain is going to stand by for me, okay? So they're still getting ready in studio. Now, talking about the Mother Kali, we were talking about the japa malas, okay? Now, so there's the one with 108 and there's also the one with the 51 beads, which you've just explained and you understand them now. Okay, so before we move on to Mahakali, I want you to absorb everything I've just said to you about the Jap Mala and the beads. What are the true meanings of it, behind it? You want to take a little break? All right. Okay. We'll come back straight after this.
The ultimate accessory, the latest shiny thing, mesmerized. Trying to keep up, but never getting ahead in an endless cycle of spending. In this world of constant upgrades, do you want a bank that takes your money, or a bank that takes your money seriously?
Vanakkam, Namaste, Namaskaram, Sai Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Swami Saranam Om Shakti, Parashakti. Welcome back, everybody. If you just joined us, you're currently watching Attenville TV. This is the Journey Show, the show about exploring Hinduism as a whole. I'm your host, Kimera, Heeralal, and if you'd like to interact with us in studio today, please do so with the bottom column right there where it says live chat, or you could use the contact details at the bottom right of your screen. And you got Nishi Heeralal coming in saying, Namaste, Kimera. Namaste, Nishi. Mommy. Welcome. All right, so today we're talking about Kali Amma herself. You may call her Maha Kali, some say Kali Devi. It depends what language also or which part of Hinduism you come from. Okay, so let's get back into it, right? Before we talk about the next form or deity, or you get different Kali Ammas, right? Let's jump to Shashi Gasain all the way in London, baby. Okay, let's check Shashi Gasain now. She's actually teaching us what is the Gayatri Mantra. So before we carry on with the mother, check out what Shashi Gasain has to say.
Namaste, I'm Shashi Gasain. A lot of people have asked me, what is the Gayatri Mantra? The eternal Hindu mantra. This mystical utterances that has been passed through generations for centuries. Mantras are powerful phrases which are chanted repeatedly. They've been proven to release positive energy which negates any negative thoughts. The Gayatri Mantra contains the spirit of all the mantras, all the Vedic mantras put in it, which makes it so powerful. It is believed that the Gayatri Mantra was written about 3,500 years ago by Rishi Vishwamitra in the Rig Veda, the oldest collection of Vedic Sanskrit hymns. It appears in Book 3, Hymn 62, verse 10. Gayatri is the name of the goddess of the Vedic mantra. She represents infinite knowledge. It is she who eliminates the darkness or the ignorance from our life and helps us attain enlightenment by showering us with wisdom that we need in our daily life. The Gayatri Mantra has been quoted in many Hindu scriptures, including the Bhagavad Gita. The modern Hindu reformists further spread the message of this mantra. And before we start reciting this, we always say prana, which is Om, and that is in praise of the one supreme creator. The Gayatri Mantra is in Sanskrit, and the words go as such. Om Bhur Bhava Swaha Tat Savitur Vareniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayam. So let's have a look at the translation of the Gayatri Mantra in English. What does it mean? So Om says, let us meditate on Ishvara, who has created the universe and sustains life, to illuminate our minds by removing sins and ignorance. May He enlighten our intellect. It's a meditation on the light of the sun, which gives us wisdom, peace, prosperity, and liberation. It is believed that those who chant it 108 times get mystical powers from the rays of the sun. It removes all fears and ills. It brings healing in the levels of physical, mental, and spiritual. Mathematicians of Vedic culture viewed 108 as a number of the wholeness of existence. 1 denotes the oneness, 0 meaning nothing, and 8 the infinity. It is said that the sacred prayer spirals from our heart throughout the universe, imparting peace and wisdom. We believe that if we recite the mantra 3 times every day, all our bad karma and ills are warded off. We open our heart. We open up to new possibilities. We inspire wisdom through the mantra. Chanting before meditation can help to create a shift from sound to silence, resonate with the positive vibrations, and bring the mind to the present. The cyclic recitation of the 24 special syllables in the mantra creates a resonance within the energy system of our body in the chakras, which has a healing effect and brings peace within us. Regular chanting of the Gayatri Mantra purifies the mind and body of toxins. It regulates the vital organs and helps in our better functioning. And the benefits are, it calms the mind, it stimulates the pineal gland and helps in the release of relaxing hormones. It increases concentration. The vibration first activates the third eye, throat, and the crown chakras, which are directly related to the brain. It improves breathing. While chanting the mantra, you're required to take deep, controlled breaths that, when done regularly, helps improve our lung function and breathing. Keep the heart healthy. Regular chants helps synchronize and regularize the heartbeat. It improves the nervous system. The vibrations help strengthen and stimulate the functioning of our nerves. It stimulates the proper release of neurotransmitters that help in the conduction of impulses. It gives skin a glow. It increases blood and oxygen circulation to get rid of toxins from your skin. It also helps in realizing that there is a higher force that sustains life. It develops a sense of gratitude towards the universe. The mantra helps us in our spiritual journey to liberate us from our karmas and attain moksha, the ultimate. Well, that is the Gayatri mantra. I hope you liked listening to the little bit of Hinduism. I shall be bringing some more.
Namaste. Thank you so much, Shashi Gussain. Thank you so much. Namaste to you. Thank you so much for joining us all the way in London. We appreciate your work. We appreciate you helping us with a little bit of piece of information every single day on the Journey Show. Thank you so much. For those of you who just joined us, you're all a little late. We start at 7 every day, but hey, you can still interact with us in studio today. There's a bottom column right there where it says live chat, as we have Nishi coming in on YouTube saying very informative. Yeah. Thank you so much. All right. So we were talking about, because it's Kali Amma's time, or Mother Kali, or Maha Kali rather, I was talking about the different Kalis. Now there are so many, but I can't mention all of them. I'll need the entire day to stream live, basically. All right, so a lot of you are used to just calling her Kali Amma, just Kali, plain Kali, right? So there's different names. There's Maha Kali, or different forms, should I say? Excuse me. Okay, so there's Maha Kali, Dakshina Kali. Then there's also Samhara Kali. Now, all the Kalis that I've mentioned, I told you in detail in the first show. If you missed the show, track back and watch part 1 of the Kali Amma episode. There's also other forms. The other forms of Kali are popularly worshipped in Bengal, include Raksha Kali. Those of you who know Raksha Kali, quite popular as well. This Raksha Kali is a form of Kali worshipped for protection against epidemics and drought and stuff like that. You also get Bhadra Kali, Guya Kali. Kali is said to have 8, 12 or 21 different forms according to the different traditions. Remember, there are different traditions, guys. The popular forms are Adya Kali, Chintamani Kali, Spashamani Kali, Santati Kali, Siddhi Kali, Dakshana Kali, Rakta Kali, Bhadra Kali, Smashana Kali, Adarvana Kali, Adavana Bhadra Kali, Kama Kali. It's also Kamakala Kali. And then there's another one, Gaya Kali, Hamsa Kali, Shmaya Kali, and Kalasankarshini Kali. There are so many different traditions, so many different forms with so many different names. I refer to as Kali Amma. Interact with us in studio today. If you have a different story to share with us, I would like to hear from you, your views and your beliefs and your opinions on everything that we've done already on the show. Give me your touch or belief or story, or maybe there's something that I missed. If there are any gurus out there watching the show, we are talking about Maha Kali, and this is the second part of the Kali Amma episode. I'd like you to interact with us in studio today as we are streaming live. All right, so now we just spoke to Shashi Gussain, right? Now, I noticed Hinduism is different in each country. Now, remember, Shashi Gussain is in London. Then we have a lot of people that also send us things from India. I'm streaming live in South Africa. Now, the traditions get a little tweaked and a little changed, but hey, our belief is still there. Our belief is from our heart. So, as Mother Kali said, that I've explained before, if it's coming true and it's coming from your heart, she'll bless you, she'll help you. All right. Now, looking at the Gayatri Mantra and what Shashi Gussain has said, let us share with you, with our research as Attenville TV, as to why women should not chant the Gayatri Mantra or the Sandara Kanda. Let's take a look.
அரவரம்மா திருநகருங்கம்மா ஆடிக்காட்டு விசதம்மா அரவரம்மா திருநகருங்கம்மா தெருமலை அங்காளம்மா ஆடம்பரம்மா அதிவாராளம்மா சூறையெல்லாம் விசங்கம்மா சூடம் முன்னே எதுகம்மா சூறையெல்லாம் விசங்கம்மா சூடம் முன்னே எதுகம்மா அங்காளி அம்மனுக்கு ஆவேசமாக ஆராதப்பட்ட கட்டி ஆடுதம்மா ஆடிக்காட்டு விசதம்மா அரவரம்மா தேடனகருங்கம்மா தெருமலை அங்காளம்மா ஆடம்பரம்மா அதிவாராளம்மா சூலம் ஏண்டிக்கிட்டு தேரில் ஏடிக்கிட்டு சிவங்காடு போகின்றார் இந்த ஏழு ஜனங்கள் எல்லாம் கூடி கூறல் எடுப்ப சிலித்த போகின்றார் அங்காளி தேரேறி ஆடுகிறாள் இந்த கூட்டத்தில் யார் முகத்தை தேடுகிறாள் அங்காளி தேரேறி ஆடுகிறாள் இந்த கூட்டத்தில் யார் முகத்தை தேடுகிறாள் என் முகத்தை தேடுகிறாளா இல்லை உன் முகத்தை தேடுகிறாளா என் முகத்தை தேடுகிறாளா இல்லை உன் முகத்தை தேடுகிறாளா ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் என்று அமன்னை பாடெடுப்போம் ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் என்று அமன்னை பாடெடுப்போம் ஆடிக்காட்டு விசடம்மா ஆடவரம்மா திறனகருங்கம்மா தெருமலை அங்காளம்மா ஆடம்பரம்மா அதிவாராளம்மா அங்கம் சிலு சிலுக்கு அன்று சாதிப்பாருக்கு அங்காளி ஆடி வந்தாள் எல்லாம் படுத்து அவள் ஏழை குரல் கேட்டு நம் வீட்டு வாசல் நின்றாள் குறை என்று பூசைய போடுங்கம்மா தயங்காம வேண்டியை கேளுங்கம்மா குறை என்று பூசைய போடுங்கம்மா தயங்காம வேண்டியை கேளுங்கம்மா அங்காளி தருவாளம்மா அவள் தாயார்க்கும் தாயாரம்மா அங்காளி தருவாளம்மா அவள் தாயார்க்கும் தாயாரம்மா அங்காளி சுகமெல்லாம் சந்தோஷம் பொங்கிடவே அங்காளி சுகமெல்லாம் சந்தோஷம் பொங்கிடவே ஆடிக்காட்டு விசடம்மா ஆடவாடம்மா திறனகருங்கம்மா தெருமலை அங்காளம்மா ஆடம்பரம்மா அதிவாராளம்மா ஆடம்பரம்மா அதிவாராளம்மா ஆடம்பரம்மா அதிவாராளம்மா ஆடம்பரம்மா அதிவாராளம்மா ஆடம்பரம்மா அதிவாராளம்மா
Okay, ladies, I know you're watching. Now you know why women should not. Big no. Do not chant the Gayatri Mantra or the Sandara Kanda. Please, you've just read, there's more actually, right? You've just read the big no-nos. I mean, you're going to get facial hair, over time, not instantly. You don't just pray and it happens. No, it's over time. It affects your organs. It affects your vocals. It affects everything of the human body. It can even affect your character and your behavior. And also, being a woman, it will affect your menstrual cycle as well. Don't forget, it's your belief as well. Okay, it affects everything. Don't forget, the main thing that really caught my attention with the Gayatri mantras and the Sandara Kandas and all the different chants, all in all, is that you read that opposites attract. So the woman help the men and the men help the woman. So basically, a man should chant for the female goddesses and a woman should chant for the male gods. Make sense? Interact with us in studio today as we are talking about the Hinduism, exploring Hinduism as a whole. Interact with us in studio today. The bottom column, it says their live chat. Type a comment in there, even if it's just a vanakkam or a namaste. You know, I'm here to interact with you in studio today. Or you can use the bottom column where it says, on the bottom right of your screen, it says YouTube, it says WhatsApp, it says our email, but use the bottom column as we are currently streaming live. And today's episode is about Mother Kali, or Kali Amma's, well, origins and everything about the mother. Now, if you want to share with us your story and do it live, please do so. Okay, so we were talking about the Mother Kali, which we spoke about the Gayatri Mantra, we spoke about the Sandara Kanda. Let's talk a little bit about the betel leaf. Okay, so the betel leaf now, I'm going to be open and honest with you. I just thought it was a part of prayer. Every time I go to temple, the guru will tell me, child, bring betel leaf, bring betel nut, but no telling what it is for. Now, leave the prayer out of this. Let's take a look at the benefits of this betel leaf and see how powerful it actually is. Take a look. Benefits of the betel leaf that you didn't know. So for those of you who are quite ill and quite sickly, the betel leaf is just for you. Alright, so we were talking about Mother Kali, and remember I told you guys I'm going to stick to my Vedic astrology towards the end of the show. Now for you astrologists out there, you're welcome to interact with us in studio today, and I stand corrected as I share my beliefs, my research, my team here. Well, here we go. So now, looking at Kali Amma's Vedic astrology, it's actually called the Shiva-Kali axis in Vedic astrology. And this is the important axis between the galactic center in the early Sagittarius, which is Kali, and the point opposite to it, or the anti-galactic center in the early Gemini, which is Shiva. Now, it marks the two sides of the zodiac from looking inwards from our solar system towards the center of the galaxy in Sagittarius to looking outwards from the center of the galaxy from Gemini, meaning Orion. It contains many secrets of creation and destruction, karma and transcendence. Now, in the galactic center falls in the Mula Nakshatra, for those of you who know about astrology. It actually marks the first 13 degrees, 20 minutes of the sign of the Sagittarius. I hope you guys understand what I'm talking about. Now, Mula is ruled by Ketu as a planetary influence, the south node of the moon, also called dragon's tail or tail of the serpent. The headless body of the serpent symbolizes its powerful energies of death and transformation. Mula's presiding deity is Niriti, which means negation or calamity. But also Mula means the opposite as well. The root of the origins, relative to this duality of creation and destruction, Mula relates to the Kali, the goddess of time, who rules eternity as well. Interesting. I know, right? Now Mula relates to the Adya Kali as the origin. Remember, I spoke about this name. Now, the mother of the universe and the ultimate creative force, actually, it connects to the Muladhara or the root chakra. For those of you who know about chakras. Yeah? Alright, so it connects to the Muladhara or the root chakra at the base of the spine. Everybody knows it as the color red on the advertisements of chakras, aligning your chakras. Now you know what I'm talking about. Alright, so it connects to the root chakra at the base of the spine and to the Kundalini Shakti. For those of you who are wondering what is the Kundalini, we'll get to that a little bit later as the show goes along. But now, as I'm talking to you guys, we're talking about the Shiva and Kali now in Vedic astrology. Don't forget the gist and the lesson that I'm teaching you. Now, we're talking about the root chakra, which is red in color, that you know. And this is the Kundalini Shakti that now we're talking about. And that is serpent power, right? Now, both sides of the manifestation or creation and the dissolution and destruction are contained within the Mula. And the Mula is the ultimate abode of Shakti in the zodiac. That's your Vedic astrology for today, ladies and gentlemen. As we're talking about Mother Kali, and we're talking about Kali and Shiva together. That's how it works in Vedic astrology. Well, don't go anywhere. We'll come back straight after this. Vanakkam, Namaste, Namaskaram, Sai Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Swamiye Saranamayappa, Om Shakti, Parashakti. Welcome back, everybody. If you just joined us, you're currently streaming live with us right here on Attenborough TV. This is The Journey Show. It's about exploring Hinduism as a whole. I'm your host, Kimera, Heeralal, and if you'd like to interact with us in studio today, please do so with the contact details that you'll find at the bottom right of your screen right there. And don't forget to comment at the bottom column where it says live chat. You can share with us your views. If you don't agree with something that I'm sharing with you on this religious show, it is a bit of a touchy subject, I know, but if you want to interact with us and share your view, your belief, you are most welcome to, as this is an open platform for the public. This is not a show to fight about religion or culture. It's about educating one another. You could teach me something. Hey, you never know. All right. So coming up next, we've got Guru Indresan. Welcome, Guruji. If you are watching the show this evening, we got Guru Indresan teaching us about a Kali mantra. Basically, he's sharing with us today a Kali mantra. So it says Om Hrim Kaliye Namaha. This actually means, well, the K actually stands for the full knowledge academically and spiritually. The R means she is auspicious. I means she bestows boons, meaning wishes. and the M means that she gives freedom. Salutation to the Supreme Devi Kali. If chanted 21 times daily in the morning or night, the benefits is that this mantra will protect one from all the evil forces and clear their minds and should give off negative energies. Om Hrim Kaliye Namaha. Well, thank you so much, or should I say Nandri Guruji, Guru Idresan, for the information on the mantra. We also got Guru Idresan that is available for certain services, which are the Jadagam, which is known as astrological readings, Panjagam, Navagrah Shanti, house prayers. He also does business prayers, car prayers, temple and hall weddings, ceremonies like the 16 days and 1 year, the Janda prayer, auspicious Hawans, and Kumbha Abhishekam. You can catch Korokal Idresan on 081 325 0115. Guru Idresan, he is 081 325 0115. Alright, welcome back everybody, as my face is here again. Alright, it's coming towards the end of the show. It's getting a little late, but hey, if you're still there and you want to interact with us in studio today, you can do so. Now, as we are, well, we've got 5 minutes left on the show. Let's give a very, very big thank you to Palindran Munsami, who always shares with us the 108 principles of the value system. And well, this is in the Tirukkural, guys. You guys know that. And looking at today's lesson, number 16 in the Tirukkural, it says, do not steal or commit fraud and corruption. Have integrity. So this is in the Tirukkural, guys. We teach you one lesson from the value system every single day. And well, if you want to interact with us and be by my side and join the show, hey guys, if you reside anywhere near Lenasia South, I'd like you to interact with us in studio today, just like Kasigan Padachi has done right now. He says, Vanakkam Uncle Kasigan. How are you? It's been a long time since I've seen all of the viewers. Everybody, thank you so much for joining the show. I'd like to give a big thank you to Darshini, Manikam, Saloshna, Naika, Nishi, Heeralal, as well as Kasigan Padachi. Thank you guys so much for joining the show and interacting with us in the studio today. You've made my show, or our show rather, bigger and better than it should be. And we are still talking about Mahakali and through this time. I think you guys should join us again on Monday. Remember, we go live every single weekday, Monday through to Friday, from 7 p.m. all the way up until 8. It's a 1-hour show about Hinduism. And it's a show called The Journey, exploring Hinduism as a whole. Now, you can join us again on Monday, same time, same place. We're going to talk about the physical forms of the Mother Kali. We did mention a little bit here and there. There's also something I wanted to mention about the Mother. Okay, so talking about Kali Amma, there is something that's called Mother Nature. As a woman or as a mother that's watching, the name Kali means Kala. I just wanted to share that with you guys. And it's actually, they call it, the name Kali means Kala, or force of time. So when there were neither the creation nor the sun, the moon, the planets and the earth, there was only darkness, and everything was created from darkness, including you. Now, the dark appearance of Kali represents the darkness from which everything was actually born, if you didn't know this. And her complexion is black. And as she is also the goddess of preservation, Kali is worshipped as the preserver of nature. So Kali is standing calm on Shiva. If you could quickly put it up, director. Kali is standing calm on Shiva. Her appearance represents the preservation of Mother Nature. And I want you guys to actually join the show on Monday so we can discuss this a little bit more, a little further, because nobody truly understands the different complexions of Mahakali and the fierceness on that face. It's not that she's a demon, it's not that she's scary. There's so much of stories and explanations as to why she looks the way that she does. When we come back on Monday morning, we're going to talk about Mother Nature and how it relates to Kali Amma herself. Well, it's time for me to love and leave you guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. From myself, Kimera, Heeralal, Vanakkam, Namaste, Namaskaram, Sai Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Swamiye Saranam Ayyappa, Om Shakti, Para Shakti. Good night, everyone.